Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio. Tonight I'm joined on the panel by Bridgeman and Jimmy. Evening, guys.
Evening, folks. Evening, Bridgeman.
Well, can I say a big good evening to you two guys in the panel here? Huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Wake up. It's time for Rangers Radio.
I'm afraid we've no Oxford tonight as he's off to his annual Christmas swinging party. So we'll just need to go with us three.
Ah, well. Never got an invite to that.
How are you, Bridge?
I want to know why there wasn't any invites handed out to the rest of the guys. Brilliant, by the way.
We would get a knockback because we are pensioners and Jimmy's no for half of us, so that's maybe the case.
Very true.
There's a lot of truth in that, by the way. There's a lot of truth. Jimmy is a bit younger than you.
Yeah, just the same as the cup final tickets.
Aye.
Bridge.
Oh, no, don't mention them again, for God's sake. I'm broken-hearted about that.
Well, I'll be reading the forums today. A lot of people are all not so much angry and angry at Rangers. So if any of them feel angry enough to hand me and Bridge their ticket, we'll gladly accept them.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is about that, I mean, there's got to be something no right about it, you know. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be something no right. Because it appears that everywhere you go, you look on Follow Fall, there's only a few people who seem to have got a ticket. And the rest are, I would imagine the majority don't have it. I'm talking about people on the CCCs, you know. Something no working right. By the way, I'm talking all this, and the reason I'm talking that is because I'm raging. I've not got a ticket.
You're jealous.
Raging, and I'm very jealous, and that's the truth. Very jealous.
I know how you feel, Bridge. Anyway, let's go on with this wee show. I think we'll start the show with this little ditty.
Oh.
That's the theme of the show tonight. We're going to theme we've got the good, the bad and the ugly on the panel. I think we'll look at the game like that, Jimmy. Aye. And we'll start off with the good. What did you take that was good for last night's game?
The good for last night's game for me, and I think the same as most people, was the first 35, 37 minutes, folks, when we played some really scintillating football. That's the only way to describe it. Some of the passing we were doing, the movement in the ball, the midfield was controlling the game, and the two goals we scored were cracking goals. So for me, that was a good. You know, at that moment in time, there wasn't any bad players on the park, if that's the right word, bad. You know, I just thought everybody was doing their job. We were playing to a man. We were playing in the right places. Nobody was out of position, and everybody knew the job. And at 2-0 up, I thought, but we're going to coast this. That was a good bit for me, mate. That was a really good bit for me.
Yourself, Bridge?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. First 40 minutes, I said it last night. Well, approximately 40 minutes. We were playing marvellous stuff. We were well on top of them, and we had them gubbed. Simple as that. We had them absolutely gubbed. Nailed down. We were running over the top of them, and they were showing it. The guy, as players, we were passing the ball about lovely. And then all of a sudden, we actually stopped. We stopped passing the ball properly. We were finding passing short balls, and they were getting shorter and shorter till they ended up, they were 2 and 3 yards short of our players. And then they just took over for there.
Sticking to the good bit first. The bad.
No, I'm saying that's, for me, first 40 minutes, 2 great goals, in my opinion. Could have scored a few more. And I thought Rangers were absolutely magnificent. And I thought, well, my 1-0, my usual 1-0 had been doubled. So I was on 200%, and I was a very happy chappy. But that wasn't it to be.
You know, watching it last night, Fox, I mean, we're sitting here all watching it, and I think, we all agreed that was probably one of Aribo's best games. You know, that 40 minutes, I thought he was unplayable at times, you know. As the rest of them were, I mean, there wasn't a bad player on the park at that moment in time. As I said before, the movement, we were putting the ball about, passing, everybody running off the ball for each other. We tore them to ribbons, and that was a good bit of the game. That was fantastic to watch. I thought we were going to go in and win easily.
For me, it was like a whirlwind start. I thought we'd done everything. I think it's probably the best I've seen Rangers playing in that opening 30 minutes this season.
Agree with that.
We closed them down, pressed high, won every second ball, won every breaking ball, and then proceeded to move and pass the ball. A really good Rangers side. First goal was a great ball, good run by Aribo, stroked it wide to Tav, and instead of the usual cross, he actually picks out Arfield in the box and brilliantly put away. Your thoughts on that goal, mate?
What I'd taken out, it was the same as yourself. I thought that our forward play was good. We ripped them apart, and when we play like that, we're probably the best team in the Premiership, folks, and it was a great move, great goal. And you're thinking at that time, though, that this is going to be a goal avalanche. And I would agree with you. I thought that's the best I've seen us play in a long time. I actually watched the whole game, the day game, and I actually enjoyed it more than I did watching it last night. And I could digest some of the things in that first 35, 40 minutes. Some of them were football. I kept rewinding it. Some of our football was beautiful to watch. And I agree with you there, Fox. Some of the best football I've seen us play this season, if not the best. But a great goal. Movement to the goal was fantastic.
And we got the second goal. A drive and run with Morelos into the box. Half decent shot. Fumbled by Joe Lewis, and Ryan Jack, who started to move, follows up and taps it into the net. We're in dreamland, sitting watching the telly, and for those up at Pittodrie, the Rangers fans, absolutely ecstatic. Next bit we've got to come to is the bad. Where did it all go wrong?
You want to go with that, Bridge? You want to start off with that?
Well, can I just... My comment on the first goal was some excellent play down the right and a lovely ball across, and Arfield just side-footed it into the net. Wonderful stuff. Goalkeeper had no chance of getting it. The second goal, well, Alfredo done the magic, but I thought he got a half-decent touch of the ball, and then the ball seemed to just run away a wee bit, and he stretched and he got his shot in. But their goalkeeper had a really wonderful game last night. Even though he let in 2 goals, I thought he had a really wonderful game, some great saves. And up pops Ryan Jack and puts it in the net.
Before you go to the bad, but we're going to discuss, Bridge, Fox, what I did notice, and I didn't notice it at the time, but when I watched it today again, where Ryan Jack picked the ball up, he's at least 45 yards for goal. He starts to move, and he ran his guts out to get to the position, either to be getting a pass, and he got his rewards with the bounce off the goalkeeper. So we've got to give him credit for that. That was another good goal. That was a great goal. I mean, the first goal for Scotty Arfield, just the way he just sliced it into the corner was beautiful. But the second goal, Ryan Jack ran his guts out for that halfway line when he started the move, and he followed it up to put the ball in the net. That was a fantastic goal, mate.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Jimmy. Everything about it was wonderful, and of course it was goals for Rangers, so we're even more happy than we could be. It was just tremendous for us, But it's a horror story.
Pretty pleasing that it's for midfielders that came through and scored the goals. Do you not think so, Bridge?
Absolutely,
I think the team's been criticised for quite a lot this season that there wasn't enough goals. If Alfredo doesn't score, it's a bit of a struggle, but the 2 midfielders popping up with the early goals seem to set us on our way to what we all thought was going to be a stroll, but it wasn't to be like that.
Well, I honestly believe our midfield, shall we say, the 3 midfielders, but don't forget the attackers, they're all doing their bit. And I thought, to a man, they were outstanding last night, absolutely outstanding. It was them that gave us all the impetus, it was them that was doing all the driving really, really hard, going forward at a great pace. As Jimmy described it with Ryan Jack running something like 40 to 45 yards to get back into the area again. And there, lo and behold, he's right on the spot when the ball comes off the goalkeeper. So you can't take anything away from that. I think it was absolutely fantastic. But obviously, we haven't reached the part where you're going to tell us about the horror show, the way everything just seemed to change around. So, but I really think the midfield were super duper. The whole team, super duper, to me, for, as Jimmy said a wee bit earlier, maybe 37. I like to round the things up. So I'll say up to around about 40-minute mark. We played wonderful stuff, and then we just seemed to stop.
Fair enough. Then we'll move on to the bad. What was your bad points in the game from there on in, Jimmy?
Well, for whatever reason, at 2-0 up, even we seemed to be looked as. I mean, even the gaffer said that as if we'd realised, or we thought we'd realised we'd won the game, and we just kind of imploded in Marcel. And again, as I said, I watched it again today, and I know some people might say no, it wasn't, but I definitely think that the boy had some decent skill. Also that our 4 central defenders were culpable in a lot of the things they did, but the boy had some good skill. I think if that was a Rangers player scoring that goal, I think we'd all been cheering that like mad, because a couple of these touches took it away for the central defenders and he put it in the back of the pokey. I did say last night that I thought that Tav should have done better. Again, in hindsight, after watching it again, me shouting at Terry last night, he did it. I don't think he could have got a chance of he done it. But he did touch it on. I think the ball was going in the net anyway, but a dink off of Hollander went in the net. But the back four, especially Flanagan, they were very, very poor, folks, for that goal. And saying, I know I said that the boy done well to score it, but we were really sloppy in defence. We were all out of place. Everybody was all out of place. It just looked really sloppy, and that was a really bad start as we move forward in the game, mate. But that was poor.
Right. That's your opinion on the first. Your opinion on the loss of the first goal, Bridge?
Very much like what Jimmy says. It was just a catalogue of, not errors, because errors isn't that. They carried a lot of luck and some good skill. So I'll ally to the good skill of the young lad running across. Their goalkeeper made a blunder coming out, thinking he could get that ball. He misjudged it completely. Probably the spin of the ball took it well away out after he realised he was losing everything. But nobody could get a foot on the ball, into the ball. None of our players could do that. For some reason or other, maybe scared of one or another, that kind of thing. But the guy dinked it. He got in a nice bit of space, and he gave it a wee blast into the box. And I differ slightly from Jimmy. I still, in my mind, I haven't seen it again. So when I do, I'll apologise to Jimmy if I've got this wrong. It just looked to me that Tavernier was trying to stop himself hitting the ball, or to stop the ball hitting his arm. And he thought he had time to pull his arm away. And as he pulled his arm away, the ball seemed to brush against his chest and then hit off of Helander. Helander had no chance. Tav never had any chance with that ball like that. But when you're watching the ball coming, his first instinct is make sure I don't touch it with my hand or my arm to give away a penalty. Whereas, in fact, I think he should have been going forward, take a step forward and try and head the ball or hit the ball off his chest or whatever. However, I've not seen it again, so I might be wrong there, so forgive me if I'm wrong. I think that was just... But I don't think Rangers got a break of a ball. At one moment in that move from the wing right across to the boy hitting it, and we never got a break. Not one. And sometimes you do need the break.
I thought myself, quite honestly, it was quite a good goal. They had a couple of 1-2s just outside the box. And once the boy steps into the box and breaks with the ball, you can only bring him down for a penalty kick. As boys rightly said, he had pace, he was travelling at pace, got himself in a bit of room and finished it quite well. I don't blame Tav for the goal either. I thought he had the whole goal to defend on his own, and I think he just got wrong-footed.
Can I ask you a question, folks? Sorry to interrupt you. How would you have felt if Tavernier had gave away a penalty and been sent off?
Well, that would have been a calamity for us as well. I mean, he couldn't handle the ball on the line. I heard people say that he could have got his head to it. He doesn't know where the boy's going to strike the ball, mate.
No.
The only bit of luck he could have had is if the boy hit it straight at him. Right. And it was just to the side of him, and there was nothing much he could do about it.
Right. The reason I asked that, I mean, I did say last night that I thought there's a chance he could have headed it, but I take that back. After watching it today again, as I say, we were watching it in the heat of the moment. We never get a chance to watch it air again to the day. But we were talking today a couple of days ago, we were saying we'd maybe lose if Tavernier was trying to either chush the ball away or protect himself with touching the ball with his horn, his arm and that, and a couple of my pals today. But how would you have felt if they gave away the penalty for the sake of saving a goal? And I'm 50-50 on that. I'd probably maybe taken the chance of a penalty. But
it wouldn't have just been the penalty, it'd have been off as well. And
I know that. I know that. I don't understand that. So we're taking a chance. I mean, as I say, I'm 50-50. I'd have taken the chance maybe doing to 10 men and maybe hopefully the penalties missed or saved, I know it's all ifs, buts and maybe, but just a question. We were talking today and our mate says, what would you have done if we'd have handled the ball and it was a penalty and they get sent off? I says, well, we'd have hoped they'd have missed a penalty and then we'd have dealt with that as best we could. But I just feel like Tavernier was maybe trying to stop the ball hitting his arm. I think he thought more of that than trying to keep the ball out. I think he was 50-50 on that, folks. As I say, I thought he could have headed it, but I take that back. I don't think he would have managed to header it. Too much of the goal to try and defend. Just a thought.
Can I just say on this one? I'll go back a couple of minutes when I was saying about McGregor. I thought that if you take all the shambles and they're playing good football against us, we expect that they do play. Teams do, and they got the breaks of the ball and they came through. I think I was horrified that McGregor had come so far out off his line and still never got near the ball. I mean, absolutely nowhere near it. So if he stays in his line, even a yard off his line, whatever it is he does, he would save that ball. That guy would have took that shot and he would have saved that. But he's stranded himself completely. And I don't know what he was thinking other than, I'm going to take that ball. Because his reading of the ball, the way it was looking, that's his reading of the ball. I'll beat this boy for pace. I'll go and grab it and I'll just dive at his feet. And it wasn't there. It just wasn't there. So I believe sincerely, if he had stayed in his line, he could have saved that. But not taking men away from Aberdeen. Aberdeen played some good football and among that. They got the breaks, they took the breaks, and they dinked it into the net.
Do you think if McGregor had stayed in his line, Tav would have come across to challenge the boy instead of running to cover the goal once McGregor's committed himself?
I do.
My honest opinion. Oh, sorry, Jimmy.
When you go, no, I'll answer it. I'll just say it. I do. I agree with that, folks.
I don't think that highly of Tav in these situations. I think Tav would have done well because he was sort of guarding the post. Let's put it that way. But I do believe that McGregor would have taken control of that situation and he would have got a save on that ball. I do believe that sincerely. I don't think Tav would automatically have went out to challenge him because the boy was, 10, 12 yards out when he hit the ball? That's a long way to travel for Tav.
But Tav was coming in, mate. It's once McGregor commits himself, Tav thinks it's the best idea to cover the goal. Because the boy's gone wide,
Yeah, if he stays where he is rather than go back to the goal because he knows the goalkeeper's there. If that's what you're meaning, yes, I agree with you 100%.
We'll look at that.
No, I do. I agree with you. I'm saying that if he notices the goalkeeper's there, and maybe the reason he's walked into the box because the goalkeeper was out, maybe that's the reason he was back on the line. Probably is, actually.
Your views on the second goal, Jimmy?
Second goal to me was just total hilarity and defensive wise. When the balls come across, I'm looking at what do you call him? Arms out, right? Goldson, he's got the arms out, and the first thing that Graham says, my boy Graham's played basketball at a decent level, and he's stood in there like a basketball player. He's trying to make himself big, waving his arms about instead of challenging for the ball. And it was hilarity in the baddest form, folks. It was total disaster. You know, you can't blame anybody else for that apart from him. You know, why was he doing that? And then he stood there with his arms wide open, complaining as if something had happened. Nothing had happened. Nobody barged into him. Nobody pulled him away. It was comical, you know. And there's not really much you can say about it apart from it was Goldson's fault. Defensively, what was he doing? What was he doing? It was really, really bad. For doing good, bad, and ugly, that was really bad, mate. That's my assumption here.
Your view of the second goal, Bridge?
Well, I think, to be honest, the guy scored the goal from what you could call Tav's defensive area. So he's as far as where the ball was coming in from our left, the ball ended up over to the right-hand side, and he popped the ball, and the boy popped the ball in the net. And we can't blame anything other than ourselves, of course, because it was just it was a comedy of errors, as Jimmy says there. And you look at Goldson, and for part of that, he's actually standing there. I don't know whether he's appealing to the referee or he's shouting to his defenders or what he's doing. But for some reason or other, that wee guy got to the line and he managed to get his foot on a ball that we should have got hold of, yeah? And he got the ball over, and all of a sudden it was bouncing around, and there you go. But that bounces down into what we would call the right back position, close to it. And there he was, bang, into the net. And Tav was nowhere to be seen. I'm saying this in all honesty because there's a line, a wee line going down some of the goals. A lot of the goals that we missed or lost, and a lot of it comes down through our right hand side. And I'm not being funny, and I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone. I do believe we have got a major weakness in that area. It's livable with because we're still, we're up there next to the top of the league. We're doing very well, and in Europe as well. So we'll have to live with that for a wee while yet. But we need to. I don't know whether we've got the quality in the squad to be able to go over that and put an elastoplast on it for a wee while. I don't know. But I mean, look at the goals we've lost, and you'll find out a lot of them have come from Tav's side, shall we say. I don't mean to be bad to Tav.
We can't say that about last night. Both goals came down the left-hand side, mate.
They started there. Yes.
The second goal, we went to sleep at a throw-in. Ferguson was all on his own when he picked the ball up inside the box, went to the byline and clipped it back. Then it was just a comedy of errors and a half-hit shot which broke, and it broke to the Aberdeen centre-half who knocked it in. I wouldn't blame Goldson in that for that, mate. I blame the people that should have been marking it, the throw-in for that. Ferguson should never had the room that he had for a throw-in. 10 to 18 yards outside our box, and there's a man free in the box. Is absolutely pathetic defending.
Yeah.
And I don't see why you could blame even Tav again for that, because the ball eventually broke at the back post. The mistake was made for the throw-in, and the goal resulted for bad. I think we went to sleep with the shy, and that's been honest with you.
I was absolved Tav of all blame there. I agree with you, folks. I still say that I know what you're saying about Goldson, but what was Goldson actually doing? No. I don't know how many times I rewound and watched it. What was he actually doing? He just looked as if he was complaining. But who was he complaining? Nobody touched him. I must have watched it 20 times. Nobody was near him. He just was standing there with his arms out, doing what? Then he started to complain.
I think he appealed. I think he thought it was either a horn ball or a push on him. I don't know what it was, but he appealed long before the ball broke to their centre-half. I can't remember his name now. But he was appealing for something, and once the ball went in, he ran towards the referee. I don't know what. I never seen it.
It was a boy Taylor, like one of the big centre-halves, right? But what I'm saying is that, look, don't matter what type of football you play, whether it be amateur, professional, junior, or whatever, you play to the whistle. You just can't be standing there with his arms wide open as if come on, referee, give me a decision here. He's got to make the conscious decision and just go for the ball and then listen for the referee's whistle. And that's not what he did. And to me, that's a schoolboy error. You know, some of the rubbish I've been reading today about the blaming Tav, and I agree with you folks. Tav's absolved of all blame for that second goal. It was all down to goals. It was all down to the build-up to it, the throw-in and that. But we were very lax. But Goldson, for me, was a catalyst to it. Challenge for the ball, put the ball out, and then complain to the referee and let the referee make a decision. But to me, it just didn't. It's as if he lost the plot. Just waving his arms about, looking for somebody to say, you get pushed, and he never get pushed. He wasn't pushed, he wasn't barged in the box, there was nobody putting an elbow in him. So what was he complaining about? Very poor defending.
I don't know what he was complaining, and it was Considine, it was at the back post, I think it scored the goal.
That's right, aye.
Aye, Considine.
Can I ask you a question? In all honesty, you've got Considine who plays on the left, he plays in the left back position for Aberdeen. And you got Tavernier who plays in the right back position for us. And when that ball broke, it broke to Considine, who was sitting out in the left on the far post, and Tav wasn't there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not blaming Tav for anything. All I'm saying is there's a position, there's men there or a man there, and Tav wasn't there to mark him in any way, shape or form. So we lost a goal because we weren't nobody on the back post type of thing. I know it's elementary, but it's the way I look at it. I just see the wee mistakes. It's only piss Widley. Even if he was there, he might not have got the ball. The guy smashed it into the net. Simple as that. But I just think, I'm not blaming Tab, I'm not blaming any of our players. I think there was a shoddy and a very poor performance by our team for something like, I would suggest something like 30 minutes or 35 minutes of that game. 5 minutes of the first half, we were rotten, the last 5 minutes. And in the first 30 minutes of the second half, we were rotten as well. And they scored 2 goals in that time. And 2 goals that we could have and should have swept up. You know, if you just turn the clock back 10 minutes before their first goal, if they'd got anywhere near our goal in that time, they would have been swept away from them. But no, it just so happened that we just stopped playing.
The first goal was a bad goal, but the second goal was a disgraceful goal to lose.
Shocking goal for me. Goal for me.
No, if we're doing good, bad, and ugly. I mean, bad was the first one, but the second one was absolutely disgraceful goal for Rangers to lose. Nobody seemed to know what they were doing, and they all saying is play to the whistle. Don't, and that's one of my bugbears about the football that we watch now. Not just Ibrox, no, everywhere. There's too many players, looking to get a silly decision. Play to the whistle. Get rid of the ball wherever you want to put it, into road Z or whatever, and just get rid of the ball. He did a ball out and let the referee in the lines and make a decision, but whatever Goldson was doing, just for me, it was silliness on his part. Naivety, I don't know. He's there every week playing, and obviously we'll come to that tomorrow night, but I just don't know. It was a really, really bad goal to lose. A really bad goal. Unhappy.
I think we would probably find that our centre backs are of the modern era, right? And the modern era says that what they're trying to do is they're trying to play football from the back and play out. And they're nice, in general, they're nice passers of the ball. And every now and then you get a stray pass or a poor pass or whatever you call it. And then at other times, whatever you do with the ball, you fall over it or whatever, and you give the ball away in a terrible time and can lose goals. But in general, we're a very, very good football playing team from back to front. However, when you come up against teams like Aberdeen, as we know, to our horror in the past, come up against that, you can get referees' decisions going against you, and a lot of them as well. And you think to yourself, this is unfair, but hey, you've got to get your guts together and get in there and absolutely hammer them, because they're going to hammer you. You saw that last night, and we've watched Mr. Goldson. And I like Goldson, I'll tell you that now, I like him. But I've watched him in a number of games getting bullied, allowing himself to be bullied. He manages to gather himself and play a wee bit of football, get himself played out. But sometimes it's not good enough when you're watching it, because all he's doing is getting bullied, and the referees are sometimes kind, sometimes they don't bother. But when they don't bother, we're left in no man's land. Because if Goldson gets beat or gets bullied off the ball, then they're through, no matter what happens. So he's at the present moment, I don't think he's a hard enough hardy enough centre half. He doesn't do the dirty, or he doesn't want to do the dirty. Let's put it that way. Maybe he can do it, but he doesn't want to do it. So there's something in there. To me, that's a big chunk of his game in Scotland, in our Premier League, is missing. He needs to be able to turn to that side of his game. He needs to do it.
Fox, see before we go to we're deeming the ugly and that, could we add into the bad? Maybe it's no bad. I just think that when we went to 2 each, I just think that the manager should have changed it. I mean, I don't know if that's in the category of bad, but I just think that the manager should have changed something there. You know, I think we were crying out for change.
I think we'll look at our game management, mate, over the piece.
Okay.
Maybe after the ugly side of it.
Okay.
Well, we'll go into the ugly side of the game and go to you first then, Jimmy. That was a real ugly display as well for Aberdeen.
Well, as I say, I keep saying, I watched the game today and I wrote a few things down, and it was all to do with the referee's display, which was really ugly. And obviously their player. I mean, we were only 27 seconds into the game, guys, right? And the first tackle was, it was Considine put his horn into Tab's face. Nothing done, not even a talking to. And then we'd only went another 45 seconds, and then the main culprit, the over the top ball, right over the top with Stephen Davis. That happened just there a minute gone. I mean, that there alone, before we go into anything else, Fox, that there, at least one of them, especially the Cosgrove one, merited a booking. That was really ugly. I mean, the game started ugly. I'm not a great believer in this, whether it's a Rangers player or no. If you make a bad tackle in the first couple of minutes, it can be the first couple of minutes and the 97th minute. You make a bad tackle, you should get booked for it. See this, it's too early to book a player. I'm not into that. And see this 3 strikes and you're out, it's a booking. I'm not into that either. If you do a bad tackle, it's definitely a booking. So what did yourselves think of the first? Considine, the game had just started, and Considine's got his horn in Tab's face, and then Cosgrove right at the top into Stephen Davis, which could have been a leg breaker. And the referee done nothing about it. Any of the two of them.
Well, myself personally, before I go to Bridge, I think they set out their stall in the opening minute and a half. As you say, the Considine hand into the face or arm into the face of Tav, mate. He should have laid down the law there and then. He knew what was coming, that referee, because of previous encounters with Aberdeen. And he could have booked him right away, and that maybe have settled the game down. As for the big fella up front, Cosgrove, mate, he should have been sent off on more than one occasion as well. I thought it was a sending off the tackle against Stephen Davis. Yep. It was late and dangerous, and nothing again done about it, you know.
What about you, Bridge?
Well, you've heard me many times saying these things. I think when we played Hearts, I thought there was a shocking tackle on Stephen Davis by Big Ikipitsu, whatever his name is. And but unfortunately for us, he was booked for that. But I reckon that Cosgrove didn't get booked last night on the Stephen Davis tackle.
No.
And I reckon there was 4 or 5 tackles or incidents in that game last night worthy of a compliance officer looking at them. Because McKenna got away with murder 3 times again last night. He charged Morelos for no reason at all, just charging him. We know that he said it in the newspapers a couple of times, that they did that to wind that Alfie up. And it was trying to do it again last night. But that's no right. It doesn't matter what happens, what he's doing it for. If the referee doesn't see it, the compliance officer should be watching it. It's well televised, and it should have been picked up. In my opinion, sorry, pal.
I'm trying to do this in a like a time of the game, and I know we can jump forward in that, Bridge. I'm just trying to know how the games. I mean, before we even got into the first 15 minutes. I mean, again, Cosgrove, 3.5 minutes into the game, he pushes Hollander there. He just pushed him, right? And then a minute and a half later, he puts 2 hands on big Connor Golson. You know, and the referee is did nothing. I mean, even at that time, he's not even warned him. You know, he's not even spoke to him, and that's the ugly part of the game. And why did the referee no do something at that point? You know, and to me that was the referee had failed us right for that, and we weren't even 5 minutes into the game, and then the big guy, Viner, he barges right into Fred. Nothing's done about it. 5.5 minutes gone. You know, so these type of things, these all built up within the first 7-8 minutes, and not one of them are spoken to. Absolutely disgusting. So do you remember the tackle in Helander? He pushed the beard, Fox?
Yeah, I remember every one of them.
Aye, you know, and Cosgrove two hands.
But sometimes, as you know, I know you're an objection to the referees doing that. Unfortunately, they will do it. They will let the first non-violent, let's call them non-violent, pushes, barging and pushing, as long as there's no elbows in the face or anything like that, then that we see. As long as we don't see that, the referee won't see it either, and that's for sure. And there's the one that they caught Alfie in the first 10 seconds of the game, sort of thing, you know, and just shocking stuff. That we know Beaton, we know his track record, we know exactly what he's like. It's just terrible. Yeah, I can't even put them into words. It's just absolutely, utterly shocking. And yet, for the first 35 minutes, 40 minutes, we were by far and away a better footballing side than that team. And all they did was want to kick us and in and above the grass, just leather it. And that referee did nothing. I don't know how many cards were given out, but I'll put money on it that we had probably the same as them. Put it that way. Two each. There you go. Now, you're watching the game. I'm watching the game. All the guys and Rangers fans watching the game. There's absolutely no way in this earth did we give away the same amount of terrible fouls that they did.
Of course
we did. It was shocking. The referee should be ashamed of himself. Hang his head in shame. Every one of them. Sorry, guys, I'm ranting.
But
apologies.
It get even uglier. You know, I mean, the tackle by Logan on Aribo. It was in 12.5 minutes, right? And this is what. And I didn't hear this last night, and obviously watching the game live and that. But when I watched it today again, and the man we all love to hate on Sky is Walker, and his comment was, I think Logan left the referee with no other alternative, but he couldn't wait any longer to book somebody. What kind of statement's that to make? I mean, the other tackles, there was 5-6 tackles before that one, which I would say at least one should have been sent off, and probably the other one at least 2 should have been booked, and they weren't. And yet they condoned what was happening. It was absolutely disgusting, you know, up to that point, Fox.
I'm fed up with it and all this, because they're an inferior side to you. It's okay for every team to use physicality against Rangers. I don't mind strong tackles when people are going in to win the ball. That's what's expected of defenders. But the constant fouling and being allowed to get away with it is just... I mean, you got away with that in the 1970s. The game has changed now.
Yep.
It's only in Scotland where they think it's fair to... It's not just Rangers. It happens against them as well. You know, them across the city as well. But they don't put as much hatred, if that's the right word, into their play. And that's what it was. And that comes for their manager, mate.
Aye, of course it does.
And, on you go, Bridge.
I was going to say, I'll carry the rant on, I think. Sorry to be such a bore with this, but there seems to be a thread going through Scottish football. The reason I went back to Hearts was Pietsu, their centre forward, had a shocking challenge on the Stephen Davis. Shocking challenge. Red card for me. Red card. Absolutely no doubts about it, right? Because he wasn't going for the ball. The ball was away, easily a yard away from him, and he just lunged in there. And last night, the same thing with Cosgrove. No intentions of going for any ball whatsoever. Take him out. And what we're finding to me is teams are going to start taking out our key players. And that's what they'll do. And they'll start with Stephen Davis and they'll take him out. And he's going to get seriously injured the way it's going. These referees need to stop them. Stamp on it. Do whatever they need to do and get it stopped. And then they could start right now, get the compliance officer to look at that Cosgrove challenge on Stephen Davis last night, and he'll get a red card for it. A two-game ban.
And no way does this deflect for the fact is that we were rubbish the second half. I mean, for me, and I know you guys are the same. No, but I'm talking about when we went on for that. You know, but what happened there was, you know, is blatant. But we were poor. But I mean, I didn't see it at the time, but I'm watching the tackle there, and it was a barge into Stephen Davis, right? And if you all remember, Beaton goes up and he puts 3 fingers up and he mouths after.
3 times, yeah.
That's 3 times. That was his 4th tackle.
Yeah.
That was his 4th. He'd already had his tackle, for the first minute. He'd 3 in a row. He'd one in Davis, but the bad one in Hollander and one in Golson, and then again on Davis, and the referee done nothing, didn't even book him, and then it came that Cosgrove again onto Golson when he did eventually get booked, that was his 5th tackle. So, we're not here saying it because the ugly part of their game cost us the game. What we need something done here is we need the compliance officers to come in and say, this isn't right. Sorry for a referee to say that he shouldn't have done this and shouldn't have done that. Later on, we'll discuss that. But that was 3 blatant bad tackles with 3 big ugly guys who decided they were going to kick us out of the park. Absolutely disgusting. He should have been Cosgrove should have been booked long before that, and then he should have been sent off. Disgusting.
Can I just say that in my short memory, when one of the times we played Aberdeen up there, and in the last kick of the ball, to all intents and purposes, Tavernier went in for a tackle, never touched the guy, and it was that boy Madison. He fell over and won himself a free kick right on the last dying seconds of the game. It was never a foul, never a free kick of any description, never, and everybody knows it. And they scored a fabulous goal. The boy took the free kick and scored a fabulous goal. And that tells me, just that was then, and it's never stopped. It just hasn't stopped. That last night with Alfredo Morelos was nothing short of disgraceful by the referee. That and we never gave a penalty. Just nothing short of disgraceful. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he saw or didn't see. But it takes me. I just can think. I can hear Mountain Vernon Loyal telling us that it's always better and easier for the referee to ignore the appeals of Rangers. Don't give the free kick against Rangers. Don't give the free kick for them. Don't give them anything. It's always easier.
Talking about the decision, we can't go any further without talking about the penalty decision.
Yeah.
What was your take on that, Jimmy?
Oh, it was a penalty. It was a penalty right away. I mean, shouting and bawling at the tail. Okay, that's what we all do when we see it as near the box as we can. But, I didn't need to see the replay. For me, it was a penalty. Alfredo was in the box. The line's part of the box, and that's where he was barged down. And it was a Stonewall penalty. For the life of me, looking where cheating, beating, stoning, right, then how he never gave the penalty. He gave the free kick. Did he not see where the ball was? Does he know? He's a referee. He should know the rules. The line's part of the penalty box. And Fred was half in, half out. But the part he took out was a fit that was inside the box. Absolutely disgusting decision. And for him to turn around later on and say that he admitted to the manager, Rangers, Steve Gerrard, that I'm sorry about it going wrong. That's not good enough. 2 points dropped is rubbish because we should have had a penalty. That's not to say that we would have scored a penalty. And we're not getting sour grapes out. But give a penalty. It's a stone waller, and it was never good. Rubbish decision.
I think he crapped out it, mate. I really do think he crapped out of making the decision, and to admit it to Steven Gerrard after the game is absolutely makes it 10 times worse for me.
Yeah, coward.
He should have consulted his linesman at the time as well. I don't think he did that, and no saying that the linesman would have given any view on it, but he could have made it look a lot better. He should have maybe held on for another second or two and digested what he had seen and it was a penalty kick. And for me, he was a coward, and he
Absolutely.
never to give her it.
You know, Foxy, you asked the question, at what point, if he's spoken to the manager, at what point did he decide it was not a penalty? If he spoke to the manager and apologised, is it before is it just after he gave a decision and said, I'm not changing my mind now? Yeah? Or was it 5 minutes after he's had a wee flashback or something? I mean, it's just utter nonsense. How can they be allowed to give decisions like that and not be able to rescind them? What's the matter with them? Why give it in the first place? If there's a bit of uncertainty, don't give it. Don't give anything. Just get on with the game. And then we can always moan and groan. But if to give a free kick, as Jimmy said, and afterwards you agree, by the way, see that free kick I gave? It was actually a penalty. Say, Stephen Gerrard, sorry, pal. I really made a mistake there. No, that's not good enough. That's potentially cost us the league.
No,
That's potentially cost us the league. That's 2 points. That penalty would have given us 2 points. If we'd scored, of course. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I know I'm going on and on and on. But seriously, this is disgraceful. Just disgraceful. Anyway, I don't mean our show's disgraceful, Fox. I don't mean our show. I mean the decisions.
We've been joined by... Who is it? It's joined
Smurf.
us Smurf, aye. Evening, Smurf.
Right, Smurf.
I know, Barn. How's everybody?
You let the Smurf on because he causes trouble.
Aye, I've not been on for a while. I've been dead busy. No, I've just your thoughts. Just want to ask you what you thought about. I've just got back for what, I don't know. You might have even done this, but what you thinking about Sunday? Would you make any changes in the centre of defence after yesterday's debacle?
Well, we'll be picking that up just after the tune, mate. So,
right, no bother.
But now we're talking about last night's game. We've done the good, the bad, and now we're on the ugly side of the game.
That's just on me on cue, then, is it?
Just in time there for that. You just fit the bill there, Smurf.
You walked right into that, Smurf.
Oh dear.
So what is? I mean, we've done the good, the bad, and ugly, but give your.
There's still a good bit to come for the ugly bit.
Was there? Oh, right, on you go.
I want to talk about the racism shown to our players last night as well. Not picked up again by the press, I don't think, apart from trying to deny what Tav was hot with, the abuse Alfie took when he came off of the team bus.
Aye.
And I think it shows you the hatred for us in Scotland by everybody in it. That's what I see it as. Anything to say on that, Jimmy?
Absolutely disgusting. You know, it is hatred about Rangers. It's the they don't like us, we don't care syndrome, but we do care. There's no place for it in society. The racism that is there, and I would like to see Rangers do something about it and ask for people to be held accountable. It's good they can pick out. Especially in the newspapers, you can pick out guys, rightly or wrongly, with banners that say this and say that, and they can. But why don't they pick these individuals out and ban them, jail them? You know, it seems to be that when I don't want to go back to the Hibs game or the spoon burners, you know, they couldn't pick all them out for what they did, but as soon as Rangers fans had done a bit of so-called damage at Kilmarnock, they decided they were going to pick them all out and arrest them all. They should be able to do the same for them, Fox. So let's hope that Rangers are on top of that. But do you know something? I doubt it very much, mate. I think it will slide away.
Well said, Jimmy. You any view on that, Smurf?
Aye, well, it's like Jimmy said. You know, the nobody likes us, we don't care. Well, I don't like them. I can't stand practically any of them in that league, right? But what I don't do is racially abuse players, violent conduct, throwing things at people and all the rest of it. I don't engage in it, you know. And they're breaking the law. So it's all well and good having a healthy or even an unhealthy rivalry. But when you're breaking the law, then they need to be held accountable. The clubs need to be held accountable. You know, we get our own, you know, Rangers I'm talking about, we get our own bad press, shall we say, from maybe certain sections, and we deal with it.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. We've also been joined by a caller on the phone. Good evening, caller.
Hey, my name's Darren.
Hello, Darren. How are we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm actually phoning up because obviously I'm upset about the result last night. I think the second half we were absolutely terrible. I think we should have got a penalty in the first half, but we're still absolutely terrible. And I think going into this Old Firm game, we should actually be changing our defence as well, because Goldson was absolutely terrible. Literally terrible. I think we should change him completely. I wouldn't actually have him in centre back, to be quite honest. I would have the Kacic in centre back, and Goldson would be.
Fair enough. Jimmy, you might pick that up?
Well, I can agree to a point, but I don't think we'll change it. Would I drop Goldson? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I think the position for me that looked really weak. I know this might sound daft, but I don't think Flanagan should get a shout on Sunday. And I know a lot of people saying if Barisic is no fit, I would go with Andy Halliday, especially for a game against the puddle drinkers. I think Gerrard's carrying on that Barisic is injured and he'll probably come in. I think he'll come in on Sunday. I reckon he'll be fit for Sunday. But I would still change Goldson because he caused that second goal. So at that point, I'm changing. Who would you put in? Would you put in Katic or
No, I would put Katic in for centre back, definitely. I mean, I think Goldson he's overrated for us. I think our best defender is Tavernier. I mean, going forward, he's the best defender.
You've got to remember that. I mean, many games has Goldson missed this season. You've got to think about. Exactly. No, the manager's put him in every game, mate. No, so.
Aye, but see that second goal, he caused that. I mean, he just stood there with his hand in the air and all that. And there you go, had the ball. He could have kicked it at least. Had like 3 attempts before then to get the ball, and he just didn't get it. You know what I mean? So, in a way, I would joke him. I mean, but then again, you could say that about Tavernier. I would have joked him a couple of weeks ago after the errors he's been making, but he's redeemed himself. But for me, personally, I would change the defence completely. I would put Katic there and take Goldson out.
Would it only be Katic you would put in? Would you put anybody else? Would you drop MD else for the cup final?
No, I would just put him in, and I would actually change the formation to a 4-4-2. I would actually put Defoe and Morelos up front and go for it. So I mean, it's a cup final. We need to win. It's a must-win game. It's the first cup we've had in 7 years, so we have to go for it.
Bridgeman, would you change the centre defence?
I wouldn't change anybody. I wouldn't change anyone. By the way, Dan, welcome to the radio show.
This is my first time. I'm from Ayrshire, so I actually
whereabouts in Ayrshire are you from?
Jecom. It's near Upton. It's just a wee village. And it's my first time. I've only actually been contacted yourselves a couple of times, like in the past, to listen to you and that, and I've been listening to you in the last couple of weeks, and I just feel like yesterday we should have won. I mean, we were 2-0 up. We should have got a penalty, which was definitely a stonewall penalty, and the ref was 3 yards out through that and didn't give it, but ended up getting a free kick outside. But second half we were so poor, really, really terrible. You know what I mean?
We were bad. Can I just say once again, a big welcome to the show, pal. I hope you join us a lot more. But can I just say, as far as the things, the points you've been raising, we've been talking about them for the best part of 50 minutes to 55 minutes now, and I think that I've only been on this show. I've only actually listened to you for the last 15 minutes. Yeah, but I'm just saying that we've been speaking about some of the points you've raised, and some of the things you're saying, some of the guys have thought along the same lines as yourself. Me personally,
Yeah.
No, me personally, I wouldn't want the manager at this late stage to change anyone if it's at all possible. Hopefully,
so would you know play a 4-4-2?
No, personally, no. I wouldn't. Again, I would leave the tactics to the manager. The manager's got a nice penchant for a 4-3-3, and providing the players he wants to play are fit, then he should play them and play to our strengths, not to anyone else's.
My team is probably obviously you've got McGregor in goals, then you've got Tavernier, and I would put Kacic in Ferranda. I would put Baritic, then I would put Ryan Kent, I would put Jack Davis, then I would put Arfield on the right, then Defoe and Morelos up front. I think that would be the strongest team to put out, to be quite honest. At the end of the day, I think we could actually win the game by playing a 4-4-2 instead of playing the normal formation we're playing right now.
Well, Darren, I think the 4-3-3 is the formation we'll stick with. It's seen as well throughout the start of the season, and I don't see there's any way that Steven Gerrard's going to change that, mate.
Well, if you look at the last goal for me that beat obviously Celtic, and obviously Gerrard made a mistake. He put somebody on the left hand side, Joby Weedbo on the left hand side, which I thought was a big mistake. So I'm hoping he doesn't do that again. I'm hoping he's learning that he's not that position. I mean, Ryan Kent all day long.
Fair enough. Thanks very much for your call.
I'll let you get back to your show and that, and I'll listen to you, and I'll let somebody else come on the phone. And
don't be a stranger, pal. Come back on again. Good, you made a few good points there.
That's okay, right. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Smurf, on the boys' point there, would you at this stage change before Sunday?
Oh, not a chance, no. It's people haven't got match sharpness, match fitness, and for a whole plethora of reasons, I wouldn't touch it. A Barspool, to be honest, no.
No, not me as well.
And for all what happened yesterday, there was a couple. Obviously, after you're going to come on to this after the
tune,
but I think there's a few positives as well for all the obvious disharmony and dejection at the result. I think there was a couple of good points that came out of the game as well. So no, there's no way I wouldn't touch it up with a Barspool. There's no way I would drop any word defence, particularly word defence.
Foxy, see before we go into the tunes, can I just ask you that after the tune, can we pick up on this the treatment of our players?
Carry on. We've still got a minute yet if you want.
Well, no, I think it's going to take a lot longer. But just to say, what we've seen in Follow and a few other places is that there was food thrown at Tav on the pitch, and he was taking a throw in once again. That was highlighted on the TV news. Nothing else was highlighted other than what I've seen and heard within the likes of Follow and that. So the only people that are highlighting these despicable things is our supporters. Our fans are highlighting it. Why was it not highlighted? It's on Sky TV. Why was that not highlighted about the bananas getting thrown at one of our players? Why? Why was it we were giving them big sticks or big licks? And I don't understand. Why are they picking on Alfredo Morelos in a racist manner when they've got coloured players on their own side? You know, I don't understand the mentality of people when they do that. I can't understand it. But they really need to get a grip. The authorities need to get a grip. And if that is not reported and the authorities are not going to look at that for last night, there's another scandal waiting to happen. Another scandal.
Fair enough, Pridge. We'll go for a wee tune if Old School Blues got it ready. So get yourselves on mute. Well, thanks very much for that, Terry. No often we get an LP at 10 o'clock, but you can't
absolutely brilliant.
Can't
True
beat
Blue will be up there jigging it by. True Blue will be jigging it. I like that.
Can't beat the old squeeze box for a bit of foot tap, innit?
Brilliant.
Anyway, we're going to. Have you finished with your moan bridge? Aye?
Well, I'm. If it comes to this racism stuff, what's been happening with our team, the guys must know of other things that were going on there last night. I believe there was some shouts from the Aberdeen fans about Morelos or to Morelos. So I don't know what was said. So I was hoping that the guys would be able to talk about that and tell us what was said, if they know.
Right, fair enough. Nobody else want to comment on that before we move on?
I never heard anything when I watched it today again. So,
no, I think I'm okay with that.
Right, I think Steven Gerrard's brought a lot of good football players to the club, but are we missing a bit of steel in the team?
Definitely.
Jimmy?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. We've no got that ball winner, the hard ball winner in the midfield. We don't have somebody in there that can just play as we. I mean, we're at the ugly part of the show, aren't we? That somebody does all the ugly work in the midfield. You know, can win the ball and bring other players into the game. And we could go back to some of the players. I go back to the Tam Forsyth and Stuart McCall and Terry Hurlock, players like that, you know, who their tackles. I mean, I know that in the days, Fox, the tackles were deemed to be acceptable. I know now it's no, but we don't have a good ball winner in the middle of the park, and we're really craving for that. I can't off the top of my head think of anybody that we could bring to Ironbooks today that, but yeah, we definitely miss that. But we definitely no go that in the team now, mate.
We did try Edmondson in one game. Would you settle for a midfield three of Edmondson as the sitting defensive midfielder and Jack and Davis in the midfield, mate? And when we go forward, he drops back and makes us a three at the back, and doesn't he make us so open at the back when Tav and Barisic go forward? Bridge.
Yeah, you're right. It was we tried that before, and it was actually looked quite good, to be honest with you. My only thought on that, and I'm not being funny, I don't want to nullify anything anyone's saying. I want to go with what our manager says, because he, at the end of the day, he's going to pick the team. He sees who he wants to play and the way he wants them to play. And I think for 40 minutes last night, we saw what the manager wants. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you said, 100% agree with you. We lack a bit of steel in all positions in our team. All of our team, I've said it 10 times in the past, they all have to toughen up, because we saw last night, these teams are not going to sit down and let themselves be run over by the Rangers. It's going to happen. They're going to fight from the start to the finish. Sometimes they'll fail, but a lot of the times they'll manage to come back on us, and a lot of teams have done, and we've managed to see it through. And last night we managed to hold on to that draw. Could have been better, but it's there. There's a bit of fight and there's a bit of heavy tackles that we have to steel up, get some steel into our bone, and go for it. That's what we need to do. Whether the players we've got on the pitch are ever going to be able to do that, I don't know. But everything's progressing, Foxy. We're improving all the time, and it'll always be refreshed. We have to get to a point where if we've not got it, we need to get it. So some January you'll pick something up. Some sort of close season ones you'll pick up there as well. These are the kind of things we need to do. We might not be in that position yet.
And I'm just throwing ideas about. I think we need a strong tackler in the side for Sunday. Would it be too much of a gamble to do that, Smurf?
I think so. In the cup final, I think we've got a settled midfield three with Kamara and the other two that you had mentioned. I think that's an established trio in the middle of the park. And I wouldn't be messing about with that, John. I wouldn't mess about with anything coming up for this game. It's not the time to do it. But I understand what you're saying. However, I would also say that we don't have that ball winning sort of hard tackling midfield type you described. But there is toughness within our team. You know, Tav's an ever present. You know, the guy's never. You know, he declares himself week in, week out. You know, a real athlete. Buffalo up front, he's a tough boy. He takes some stick and he gets on with it, and he dishes it out and all, and can handle himself. But I understand your point for the middle of the park, somebody that can put themselves about. But again, in the modern climate, is that good enough?
Well, it seems to work for everybody playing against us, mate.
Correct. No, and I get your point, and that was bringing me on to my next point. Was that, is it a case we need that, or is it a failure of referees and refereeing that actually we're combating against? Because you've got the like for instance, the boy McCrory was good at that. He could get a tackle in and all that. You could say maybe his distribution and stuff like that wasn't great afterwards, but if you're going to get somebody that can put a tackle in and's got a bit of dig, they've still got to be able to play.
Fair enough, mate. Anyway, if MD wants to join in the conversation, the number to phone is 0141 356 1972, where if you call in by phone and let it ring, we will call you back. So, and we can also join us at rangersradio.online on Skype, and we'll bring you straight into the call. Anyway, where were we? You don't think the manager will change anything at all for Sunday, Jim?
No, and the only one I would change personally would I just think that after an hour, Flanagan looked a burst couch, as they say. And I wouldn't have any problem with playing Halliday if Barisic isn't fit. But apart from that, I would like to see Greg Stewart get a game. I said that yesterday. I'd like to have seen him get a game. But I don't know if... No, Aribo done nothing wrong for me. I thought that he was probably our best man in the park a lot of the times. I thought he played some nice touches, some nice football. But if I was going to change it, folks, it would probably only be Flanagan if... Barisic isn't fit. Apart from that, I wouldn't change anything. I don't see the point of dropping goals. And I know I got goals earlier on, but I don't see the point of just changing a back four just like that. No. So for me,
it's no changing the back four, mate. You're just swapping. I mean, Kamara and Aribo alternate for the midfield, the spare midfield slot. I just think that if we get a bit of steel at the back there, it's the dropping back to the three that interests me, Jimmy. When we go forward, we're two central defenders lack pace. Mm-hmm. But go Edmondson dropping in there gives us a three at the back, and you also get the advantage of Davis with his craft and that getting a bit further forward, and him and Jack I think could tie up in the midfield.
See, for the life of me, I couldn't understand why he brought Ojo on instead of Stewart yesterday. I thought the game would have been crying out for somebody like Stewart. That might be something they might do in Sunday. For me, Ojo's no for me now. So I agree with what you're saying about the three and that. That's interesting, if we did go that way. But look, we need to combat well in the midfield because we know what they're going to be like, especially with him. The unmentionable one. So we need to win in there. We need to win it hard, boss the game, and that's not something we've been able to do with them. So we need to get in there and boss it, and make sure they know that they're in a game. I'm still looking forward to the game. I'm not complacent in any way. That that they're definitely not a better team than us. So I'm happy with my lot. That was just a glitch last night. So. Going forward, I'm okay with that, folks.
Fair enough. Bridge, you anything to add to that?
No, I think what Jimmy said was absolutely excellent as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, that was good. Well said, Jimmy. Well said.
Do you think what's a problem for us for game management? And what I mean by that is we're 2-0 up and cruising, and instead of coming up to half time, settling down and keeping control of the ball in the dying couple of minutes before half time, we're still pushing forward, looking for a third goal. And I think a lot of managers, or more experienced managers, would settle for what you've got at that time. And then in the second half, hopefully if you get to half time 2-0 up, we shouldn't go chasing the game as much now. And I think that's a problem we've got as a side, as the game management side, is when we're in winning positions, we tend to throw them away sometimes, as we done in Europe against Young Boys and Bern, sitting comfortably at 1-0, chasing a second goal, and we end up getting beat 2-1. What's your thoughts on that, Bridge?
Well, my thoughts on it, honestly, are I said it last night. I don't know what the manager could have done in his mind last night, but there's absolutely no way I would have come out in the second half based on the last 5 minutes of the first half and thought everything was all right and we were going to day in. We were doing nothing. They ran over the top of us for the first 20 minutes of the second half last night. They ran over the top of us and they just kept battering us and we did nothing about it. We should have got ourselves into a defensive mode and we should have maybe even have changed somebody back into a defensive midfield. We should have done that, brought Edmondson on, something like that, to put a bit of steel in front of the back four. We should have done something like that and just said, let's play for the game. Let's keep them out. Don't care what we do. We played with football, but let's fight for this 3 points. And that's, for me, that was unforgivable. For Rangers to lose 2 goals, go 2 up, playing brilliantly, to losing 2 goals and struggling with ourselves and our own form. Admittedly, we picked it up in the latter part of the second half, but the game was lost to us at that point from both the refereeing and the getting booted all the time perspective. We couldn't pick our game up. So for me, at half time, it would have been a defensive team. That would have been it.
I'm going to disagree with that to a point, Bridgeman. I mean, I think at 2-1, when we lost a silly goal, it was a silly goal to lose, but we surely they should have come out there in the second half and been able to pick up where we left off, so to speak, that go for them again, go to play the same way. But when we lost that second goal so early, that's when the manager should have changed it. For me, Flanagan was a spent force. He should have brought on Halliday and tightened it up then. Brought on Halliday and go for broke, so to speak. Right? Because they weren't a great team. We let them play against us. And that's the sad thing about it. We were absolutely magnificent for 40 minutes. And after that, we just imploded. So as if we played like cowards football. That's the right word. We were rubbish.
Well, I think that's the reason why I'm saying, Jimmy, I saw it in the last 5 minutes of the first half when we gave them a goal and so on and so forth, and we looked as if we were, shall we say, treading water. And it turned out that way, because early on in the second half, we gave them another, let them run at us, and we gave them another goal. And they just kept running and running and running, and we couldn't match them until way into the game. So we would have been better at playing a defensive game and just thumping the ball out of the park whenever we could, if you want to go that basic. But that's all we should have done. We had 3 points in the bag at half time. 3 points in the bag. We had even better 3 points in a 2-0 lead at 40 minutes roughly, and we gave it away. And yet we continued along the same road against a team that was on fire. They came out in that second half. They were on fire. They were up for everything, and we weren't. That's just the way I'm looking at it. I'm sorry to say, I feel strongly about these things simply because I'm always was more defensive thinking, And I think we should have just defended. Should have stuck, got our midfield back into defensive mode, or bring in a defensive midfielder and take the Morelos off. Whatever you wanted to do, save that game. Save the game.
Okay. Anyway, we've been joined by Albert. Evening, Albert.
Evening, Fox. How you doing, Paul? Bridge, Jimmy, how you doing, guys?
All right, Albert.
Hi, Albert.
I'm good. I'm just out the wardrobe there. After my rant last night, she locked me in the wardrobe, so she just opened up and let me out there.
I was just going to say that. You want to put us right? Come on, give us your points of view, mate.
I know.
Just back for Narnia.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, mate. I never knew you were there. The Sunday, going to Sunday first. I don't feel them on Sunday. I'll be honest with you, I don't feel them on Sunday. What I fear on Sunday is us. I mean, we turned up and played like that last night, and we've no chance. And that's the only thing I'm fearing, because they're nothing. We own our game's going to slaughter them. No bother at all, we'll slaughter them. But We've got to have everybody on their game. We've got to have the proper Rangers team turning up. And that last night was disgraceful, and I still say it to this day. As for, would I change anything for Sunday? Absolutely. I'd put Broxy Bear to centre half and drop back Goldson. Honestly. Get him out the team. Get him out the team. I'm telling you. But,
you know that's not going to happen, Albert.
I know. It's just my preference, Fox. I know it's not going to happen. I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to give them all a chance to redeem themselves. Well, most of them, put it that way. I think his team selection already set up, and I think his team selection last night reflected that he was half a mind on the cup final as well. So he knows his team. Before the ball was kicked last night, he knows his cup final team. But I'll tell you, last night he got a shock. Last night he really did get. You could see it in the boy's face. He got a shock last night what he seen, and that was bad. That was bad. And I put it down to Goldson taking a hand in proceedings. I had a look at it again, and what I think went wrong was we're playing great football. We're coasting it, as we all said, and all of a sudden Goldson decides, I want to be part of this football playing, but further up the park. He carries the ball up the park, loses the ball, and for that move, the whole game changed. The whole game changed and allowed them to come right up once he's caught out of position, and they started to come right on top of us again. And I went, why didn't you just stay in your position? Do what you were doing. You were doing it all right. Big Helander was doing what he was doing all right. They were coping with everybody. But he decides, oh no, he does this in every game nearly. I want to take a part in this. You go, you're not a football player. Stay in your position. Do what you're paid today. Defend. Don't let them buy you. Don't let them score. That's what you're paid today. Let the boys who can play football. And the boys who could play football last night were playing football. So you're going, there's no need for you to go up this part. No need whatsoever. But he keeps wanting to get involved. And as soon as he gets involved, we fall apart. It's happened time and time again. It happened in the Celtic game. It happened in the Young Boys game. It happened in the Feyenoord game. It happened in the game last night. I'm saying, stay where you are. Don't you get involved in the play. And that's what's happening. He's disrupting everything. Sorry, guys.
Is that down to the manager? The manager is constantly stating, mate, when he gets a couple of goals, he wants to get 3, 4 and 5. And
that's fine, mate.
Is that his attitude? And steady, as I keep saying, the game management, when the centre-backs could have sat back, kept passing the ball back to McGregor, get to half-time 2-0 up, and then come out and do the same again. But that goal cost us. It cost us the 2 points in it because it gave Aberdeen a belief that they never had to start with.
Absolutely.
And, I think it's down to game manager. I think the manager has still got a wee bit to learn.
But the fact of the matter is we're coasting the game. He doesn't need to get up the park as far as he's doing. He just needs to sit where he is. That's part of the game management you're talking about. Now, do you just sit back there and let them do their thing? We get to half-time 2-0. Ant McInnes has got a problem with his son. He's bringing them in there going, we should have been 4 or 5 down here. If they would have really been ruthless today, we'd have been 4 or 5 down here. That's all if buts and mubbies. Instead of that, we give them that stupid goal. And you go, oh, no, the belief. You could see them walking off the park. They didn't want to get off the park at half-time. They wanted the game to continue. They came out in the second half and we came out with sleeping bags and pillows. I'm telling you, we just thought, here, let's go for a wee kip, man. This is no bother. Then when we lost the second goal, it was panic mode. You could see it. Certain players absolutely panicked. Flanagan panicked like mad. You're getting it. Fair enough, the boys not been playing since August, so you cut them a bit of slack and go, right, fair enough. Goldson, Helander, oh, good grief, what happened today too? They just absolutely, bottle just totally went. And I couldn't understand what he was trying to do. The ball's going over his head down the wing. Instead of hoofing it into the top tier of the stand to regroup, no. He's trying to hook it over the guy's head and put it up the wing. You're going, you're not clearing the guy up the wing. He's getting the ball and putting it straight back out. Now you're out of position. I mean, this is basic football. This is no rocket science. I just don't get what that guy's about. I really don't get what he's about. But hey ho, that is what it is. But I don't think he'll change them. I don't think in Sunday's game. I don't think the manager will change it. I really don't. He should, but I don't think he will. As the points are, it's too close to the cup finalists. Well, they've not had enough. The ones he'd want to bring or should bring, and they've not got enough game time. Blah blah blah. But again, that's down to the management. The boys that he should be bringing should have some game time under their belt. And Defoe, I still don't get. We're after a goal. We're second top goal scorer sitting in a bench, and I'm no bringing him on. Way my top goal scorer to get that goal. No, that doesn't make. And Roy Stewart coming on, that makes perfect sense. Not our manager, it doesn't. I understand his Katic move because of the free kick, but he tried to play a double whammy with Katic. He broke Katic on, and if something broke, and threw Katic at the free kick. Oh, great! But if it didn't, well, I've got him on as a spare defender now. That I'll hold my 2 each, and we'll no get beat. That's what he was thinking with Katic. He was playing it safe at the same time as trying to get him to do something in the area. But no, disaster last night. Total disaster.
Would you? I'll put the question to everybody. If he did make a change and we get hammered, mate, would you be happy about that?
I'm not really going to be happy getting hammered.
But if he changed out 1 or 2 of the central defenders, would he be getting stick for breaking up the partnership at Scotus to where we are? We all forget that. It was that partnership at Scotus to we were joint top of the league. And a game ago.
But folks, the point to do it last night, that partnership, they go there through luck in a lot of the games. Come on, let's be honest here, by the way. Feyenoord should have ripped us apart in the first. Feyenoord did rip us apart in the first division. They put the ball in the net. Porto, in the first 25 minutes of the game, and they're away, ripped us apart. And the Ibrox, they held the ball. They should have scored as well. So we're getting away with it. But I'm not trying to be smart after the event, but I was never confident of Golson. Do you know when I started not being confident of him? The very first game of last season against Aberdeen up there, when we went down to 10 men after 10 minutes, we get a goal, and the last kick of the ball, he falls flat in his face. Just falls down for no good reason. Oh. You remember it, mate?
Aye.
I still look at that.
He sort of dived to the flare and the ball went under him, didn't it?
Aye, and you're going, why are you diving to the flare? Well, what are you going doing for like that? Why did you not attack the ball? Bang, the ball goes in the corner of the net, 1 each. And that's when my suspicion started going, okay, I've watched that 20 times and I'm going, why did you fall down? There was no reason to do what he did, but he just fell down. And then from then on.
Who were we playing away last year? And it was in Europe, and he couldn't kick the ball with his left foot, and he just needed to punt it, and he shuffled onto his right foot, made up the host a goal, remember?
That was in Russia, I think.
Russia, it was. You were right. You're right. It was. I was going to say that. I wasn't sure. I don't know if it was.
See, guys, I'd have made 3 substitutions. I'd have brought Halliday on, obviously, for Flanagan, right? And I'd have brought Stewart on for Arfield, and I'd have brought Defoe on for Alfredo. See, after half an hour to go, right, in the 60th minute, you should have brought the 3 of them on and went for the game. I'm not into this holding out for bringing defenders on to hold out for a draw against Aberdeen. That's BS for me. I want to go and win the game, and I want to win the league. But you've got to go for it. Look, a manager he lives and dies on his sword, doesn't he? Albert, I mean, go for it. Just go. No, if he's got to change something in defence, for me, it's got to be Flanagan.
You can't. Sorry.
So on you go.
For me, you can't play a 4-3-3 and be defensively minded. But to me, it doesn't work.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
he's got his idea of playing, and he was a cavalier attitude to playing in the way he played the game as a player, and he's carried that into his management. I think there is a you can't be too critical with him because he's done well, but he's also had investment, and I think that there is signs of naivety from the gaffer. You know what I mean? He's still learning as well. You see, so I think that's an issue. Yesterday, I think the biggest concern for me was looking at that as I think we missed Kamara terribly yesterday. I think he does a lot on sort of reported work, you know. He does a lot of dirty stuff that people don't see. I'm not saying he's flying into tackles and all the rest of it, but he's a tidy player. We retain possession. He breaks things up in his own way, and I really thought we missed him terribly yesterday in that midfield.
Fair enough.
Oh, I agree with that.
But can I just? I was going to say we missed him because what I was saying about being defensive. Likes of Kamara's a brilliant tackler. smashing tackler, and he's great for coming back and picking the ball up. And he was missed sorely last night. And that's the kind of thing I was meaning. We don't necessarily bring in all big defenders. Just set your shape up 10 yards, 15 yards back between the midfield and the defence and just stay together. Just stay together, the same as people play against us. But don't ruin your shape or anything like that. But you're not going to go attacking from sort of 20 yards inside your own half. And you're going to go and manage the game as best you can. But I'm talking about when we were 2-0 up or even 2-1 up just after half time. We should never, ever, ever have defended, or rather not defended. That's what we're moaning about. We gave away 2 stupid goals for our defence perspective. We were at shocking goals, really bad goals. So as a team, from midfield back, get back again. Get your shape, get your game, get your confidence, and then you can move up whenever you want. But if you don't go back and defend, you're going to leave big gaps, and they'll just run into it. And that's what happened to us last night.
We couldn't upset our shape in that second half. We never had a shape in that second half.
But that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Our defence was getting pushed back right to the 18-yard line. The midfield could never come back with us. And when they did, it was too late. You know, we see it every other week when we do things in Europe. You can see these players, some of these European teams are really good technical players, and they catch us out. And it really takes a big, long busting runs from our midfield to get back and defend. And that's why we managed to block a lot of goals. Good shots at goals, we managed to block them because the midfield are back helping. And we didn't have a midfield that were doing that last night. I think they'd ran out of steam. It looked as if their game had dropped and they never picked it up again. That's what it looked like to me. Sorry to be different, but that's what I feel.
I think you've got a point there. I think it was the midfield losing its shape last night that caused us all the problems at the back. I don't know what happened to them. They were absolutely tremendous in that opening 30 minutes, and then they just seemed to drift right out the game and were never a feature in the game after that. Any ideas on that, Jimmy?
No, I agree with you what you're saying there. You know, we just seem to implode. When they scored, the midfield were non-existent after that. You know, and I would have changed it. For the life of me, I couldn't see that. What's the sense of bringing Katic on at that time for a corner kick? You know that. I think
the odd chance he might get his head on it.
I know that.
In the final minutes, you know.
The naivety there for me was that, you know. But if he was going to change it, he should have changed it within 10 minutes of the second half. The midfield was poor, wasn't competing at all. So I'd have liked to have seen him bring somebody else in there in the midfield. And I definitely, Fred wasn't at the races. I'd a substitute to him at half time. I just thought the problem with Fred is that when he's not getting the ball, he gets frustrated and he falls out the game. You can see it. No, I know he had the shot that the goalkeeper parried out and Ryan Jack put the ball in the net. I can understand that, but apart from that and the penalty, for me he should have changed it long before he did. No. And I thought that was very, very poor of the manager. But that's no criticism of the manager in the whole, because we know that he's done a lot of great things for us since this came to Ibrox. So we'll just need to go with what we've got to now and hopefully come Sunday. But again, I say, I don't have any fear for Sunday. I think we'll compete with them, no problem.
Can I come in on that? I think what you're saying is right. If the first 35, 40 minutes of that game yesterday, Rangers turn up, then I think we'll annihilate them. But if second half Rangers turn up, first 40 minutes of that second half turn up, well,
that's the big fear, Smurf, isn't it?
That's self-explanatory. So it's a very schizophrenic side you're getting. You know, there's an amazing side to it, and there's you know, cover your eyes side as well. So it's you know what I mean.
Your eye. I like that one.
Well,
can I come in with a wee point? Can I come in with a wee point, Fox? Regarding what Gerard said about his senior pros in that team, he made a good point last night when he turned around and said the senior pros let him down. Or didn't he let him down? They didn't come to the party. And the one I was looking at was with Big Helander and Flanagan. Now, Big Hellander's getting roasted down the wing in the second half for that wee boy Gallagher. All of them was noting the ball down that wing and the wee boys outpacing him. It's for Herlander to say to Flanagan, look back here, and Flanagan to notice, I better go back and give him a horn. I'm going to tuck in behind him to cover the big man. But no, they stand and watch the guy getting roasted time and time and time again. You're going, are you not going to go and give that boy a horn? You know what I mean? It's just simple things like that. It's called playing with your teammates. It's called going to your mate. Come on, you need to drop in here with me. Instead of that, we just stand there and go, oh, all week I've been told to stand here, so I stand here. But it's not working, so you need to do something during the game. No, I told we stand here. Oh, well, okay, somebody send him a cup of tea out there for all the good he's doing.
What did you guys think of Arfield? With it coming on and, well, sort of the goalie goat and stuff like that. You know, I thought that was important, getting into Sunday. Getting into a good position, receiving the ball, sticking the ball away. You know, he's been kind of anonymous, a bit of a passenger in recent weeks, and obviously the manager's been vocal in the papers, and he's supported him, etc., etc. And it was just, I thought it was great. The first half, we've got two midfielders, you know, breaking the lines and scoring for midfield. I thought that's because you're always got a goal in Alfie, so I thought that's fantastic. That bodes well for Sunday, you know. And particularly Arfield, if he's turned a corner and going to come on to a game as well, coming into a big game, you know, big game player. I thought, oh, brilliant! This is all coming together at the right, just beautiful for Sunday's game, and then that implosion, you know. But I thought that's a real positive, was Arfield getting a goal, the midfielders getting a goal, you know.
No, what I couldn't understand with Arfield was a comment the gaffer made before the game the other day there when they said that Scotty Arfield's got family problems. I wonder why he made that public. You know, but what I'm saying is that, I mean, if he's no right, I know he scored the goal, but
I think
if he's no right, then why play him?
I think that basically the crowd getting on his back and stuff like that, and all the murmurings, and when these players know what's going on, it's tangible. They feel it, they read it every day. They see it every day, they hear it.
But he said he'd family problems.
Aye, I get that.
What does that mean? Is that affecting his game? You know, I don't know. I mean,
aye.
I agree with what you're saying about Scotty Arfield. I thought he had a decent game last night. I know he scored a good goal. Would I play him on Sunday? Aye, I would. Aye, definitely.
Well, what I took out of the thing was that he's obviously not going to go into any detail about the guy's private life. But what he's saying is he's got issues going on behind it. He's given, you know, if it was me, you know, he alluded to the guy not being able, basically wanting to play football. He was offered not to be in the team. So whatever it is must be quite serious. And obviously the guy's like, no, I want to play. And he's got to sort of look after him as well, keep his morale up and all the rest of it. Although I get it, it's all about Rangers results. I understand that. But he's, you know, he thinks he's been loyal to the player. And you know, he doesn't want the terrace. He did it for Tav a few weeks before it, although it was different circumstances. He came out in the media and vocal in his support of these players. Get off their backs. They need to turn the corner. I know it's different situations. One was a loss of form, and one was a loss of form. He's alluding to a personal problem, and he's basically telling the fans to get off their back. That's what he's saying. And,
on Tav, I'd like to see others take free kicks. Mix it up a wee bit. See the Tav hogging the ball all the time. I'd like to see that happen more often.
Well, we do it when Barisic is fit.
When Barisic is aye. But
sometimes Holiday as well.
Aye.
When he's playing.
Well, speaking of Holiday, there's a poll going about. Who would you rather have on Sunday? Holiday or Flanagan if Barisic doesn't make it? Go to you, Albert, first.
Flanagan.
All day long, mate?
All day long, mate. All day long. He's a more experienced player. He knows what he's doing, the full back. But he didn't play particularly well last night, and he panicked a bit last night. But I think that was down to fitness as well. But if you've got to play a fullback, you've got to play him. Holiday's not a fullback. He's just not.
Rudge?
Yeah, I agree with Albert there. I think it would have to be Flanagan, providing he's no injured or anything like that, and he's no bad feelings from the game, because it was his first game for a while, particularly 90 minutes, a torrid game. So hopefully he's come through that with flying colours, and then he's up for a selection. Obviously, as you said, if Barisic is fit, he walks it straight in. But I wouldn't have any problems with Flanagan getting in. I don't think we would play Halliday. Don't get me wrong, you could play Halliday on the left, and he won't do you too much damage, I don't think. But I don't think he's as good as at the left back position as Flanagan. Flanagan's tougher. I think so anyway. I think he's a harder tackler, and I think he puts the fear of God up that wee boy Forrest that plays for them. So each time you see Forrest doesn't have a good game, he ends up getting taken off when Flanagan's on the pitch. Plus, remember the last time he leathered Scott Brown, and that did the crowd well as well. So all these things matter. So I would think Flanagan, there's a lot of pluses for Flanagan. If Barisic is unfit, Flanagan should play.
Smurf?
I agree. For me, Flanagan's got to play. I don't know if he had last 90 minutes, so he might end up needing to play the two. But Flanagan would start for me. My concern with that is obviously he's not naturally left-footed, and but Helander inside him, who is Helander's he's looks like he's towing a cart, doesn't he, when he's running, and it's that lack of pace on that side then would be worrying me. But we Nanek, certainly the last time Flanagan played against him, he didn't get any change at him.
I don't think he's really been a feature against us in the last couple of
he's no
games, Jimmy, who would you have, Tav? Tav, I've got Tav in the brain here.
I'd play Flanagan if he's fit. It looked to me he's got 90 minutes under his belt, so obviously I'd play him if he's fit. But if he can't last the 90 minutes, obviously they've got to bring Halliday into the equation. But definitely I wouldn't be changing the back four in that aspect.
Instead of getting everybody else a right good tune, I want to bring up the question of Ryan Kent. Success at the moment for you, Jimmy?
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy with. He said there a couple of weeks ago he's only 75-80% fit, so I'm happy. I think give him a couple of games to get you 100% fit. Hopefully, the last night's game and the game on Sunday that's him 100%. I'm happy with him. Yep.
Do you think he's producing enough? The final product for us. He's great at picking up the ball in midfield and driving towards the defence. Do you think he cuts inside too much, Jimmy?
Perhaps. It was my boy Graham that said that. He says that sometimes the way he plays that way, But he likes to have that ball there, and then a couple of times last night he drove into the right, and he's trying to get through the middle. Whereas I like to see him more go out to the left. You're right in that aspect. I like to see him drive more onto the byline to try and get the ball here. I'd agree with you there. Sometimes he does comes into the middle far too much. Let the midfield do that work, and let him do what he's best at on the wing. Did they miss doing that last night? I think he did. Yep, I think he did.
Albert?
Up until last night, I would give him pass marks. Some games he was really good. Some games he was okay. But last night he was stinking, absolutely stinking. And he played his part in that second goal. By the way, I think it's him. I think I'm right in saying if you watch the Ferguson running off, he ran off him and into the area, and the ball went over Flanagan's head. So he never tracked him. So nah, but who was good last night, put it that way now, and that last that second half. But up until that game, pass marks, I think there's a lot more to him, and I agree with you, I don't think we're getting enough product out of him. He's great to watch, I love him, he's brilliant to watch, and he's good entertainment, but final ball, no, it's not good enough. There's Tab, for that matter, but anyway, that's just another thing for another day.
Rich?
Yeah, I agree with Albert. About 90% of it, he says it's all there. I think the boy is fabulous. I think he's going to be a wonderful player for the Glasgow Rangers. And that's what I want to see, that style and quality of player at Rangers. I think he suffered the same as everybody else suffered last night. I think every single one is, particularly midfield and forwards, we just stopped playing. We thought we'd won the game. We thought we had that team in our back pocket. And like a game of football on a Sunday afternoon or a bit of grun, You've got a good team some weeks and you've got a bad team like other weeks. And when you've got a good team, you rub it into them and then you just stop and you start playing about. And that's what we did today. We stopped, but we didn't start playing about. That's what we needed to do. We should have kept the ball till half time. Just like it was Jimmy that said earlier, or one of the boys anyway, and got yourself in there still with 2-0 in the lead. And it's a different game entirely in the second half. Different game. So I think Kent, yeah, great for me.
I know he's two-footed. He shows it during games. I prefer him on the right myself. The own goal he scored a couple of weeks ago when he cut in for the right-hand side and let fly with his left foot was an absolutely tremendous goal, but he's not doing enough for that for me. Anyway, we've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
Evening.
What's your name, mate?
Say hello to Willie. My name's Alan.
All right,
I was listening to the game last night with my friend Willie. We're Rangers fans. We listen to you every night.
Good man.
And it's just so unlucky yesterday. So unlucky. Do you know what I'm saying? And I even thought Aberdeen were going to snatch it. But yeah, I think what Gerrard's doing now as well. And I know he's coming in for a wee bit of criticism now, but I just think he's got the whole. I mean, this time last year, even the year before Gerrard came in, it was like the glass was half empty. But now it's not even half full. It's overflowing because the confidence he's bestowed on the team is just amazing. Nothing short than a miracle, really. And he speaks with authority. He commands respect, and he's just changed that place upside down. Well, he's changed it the right way up, in a sense.
Well said, mate. A round of applause.
Just your thoughts on that, anyway.
I agree. Well done, Paul. Well done.
I really don't believe it. Every time he speaks with authority. You know, he speaks with confidence. He's a good speaker, and he conducts himself. You know, I mean, he's one day I'll be proud of him. Put it that way.
Alan, can I just say that the BBC are phoning up to find out what your number is?
Oh, that's all right. No, do you want me to give? Oh, aye, right, go you. Aye, go you. So, the other thing was, Foxy, you sound awful like somebody, what was that on, see on Clyde One?
Clyde One?
Who was it? Hugh
Keevins. Hugh Keevins.
No. No, he's got an older voice. Gordon DL has.
Oh, he's a clown, mate. Thanks very much.
The only man seen I heard you thought there's Gordon DL.
Look, there's nobody on
here. He doesn't sound like one Tim, he sounds like another.
Aye. But hi. Hello to my friend Wally.
How we doing, mate?
Who's your
friend Wally? Foxy, all right?
Who's your friend Wally?
My friend Wally, he's really into Rangers, so
right.
We have good banter every night, and we listen to your show, and it's just brilliant. It really passes our time. We're actually HGV drivers. No. I'm after night, so we can't phone because we're driving. You know, we can't phone because we're driving. But
I hope you know, Alan, you've labelled me with that new Dalzell. For guys that's played.
It was maybe a compliment.
Oh, thanks. Oh, well.
Maybe a compliment.
You're joking, Alan, aren't you? You're joking.
I'm nicknamed Coco now.
Right. So, listen, what's your thoughts on the weekend? What's your thoughts on the weekend for the cup final?
Well, we'll go to Smurf first for that.
So for the thoughts for the weekend. I think we'll. I think we've got to win it. I truly believe that whoever wins this cup final wins the league. For me,
I think it's going to be again. It's going to come down to confidence and all that. It's going to be kind of one up.
I think it's massively important going into the next Old Firm fixture because you'll be getting into that with confidence. And the way the games have panned out yesterday. And they've got an extra game to play. We could be going in, 6 points, 8 points maybe behind if we lose the Old Firm game and they've got their game in hand that they win. That's no a scenario.
I think they did the easiest game that yesterday. You know, Aberdeen's but I think
you know,
we were kind of a wee bit disappointed, but me and Willie were talking last night, right, after it, and we thought, do you know what? The only good thing that came out of that last night was we never lost. And that's what we were saying. You know, I think it's a good point, really. You know, we never lost a game. I know we were 2-0 up and all that. We couldn't believe it. We actually thought, we missed it. See, we get cut off when we were going down. And we thought they had equalised, but we didn't know the Rangers were 2-0 up. We thought they were only 1-0 up. And then we heard that Aberdeen had scored. We thought they'd equalised, you see. So we didn't realise they were actually 2-0 up.
I'll get
But you know, a point.
short and sweet. I think 2-1 on Sunday to us. I think we'll win 2-1.
Jimmy?
Aye, I think it'll be tight. Definitely.
I'm going for a stramash of a 3-2. I think there'll be a lot of goals in it on Sunday. I think it'll be 3-2.
I'm sitting at 2-1. I'm sitting at 2-1 as well. 2-1-1. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be tight. 3-2. That's a good one, right enough. Maybe who knows? We might get into extra time and then 3-2.
Right.
We've had that scoreline once or twice against them. 3-2.
1-0 for the Rangers. The famous Glasgow Rangers. 1-0.
That's all you need. You just need a goal.
Do for me, pal. Do for me.
That's good. Listen, it's been great talking to you.
Right, Alan.
And hopefully you'll allow me to phone again sometime.
Oh,
absolutely.
Definitely.
Alan, can I just say, Alan, it's Bridgeman here. Just say a big shout out to Willie, your pal William.
Willie.
Big shout out to Alan's pal.
Well, listening to now. Aye, my boy, I know he's Alan too. He's
all right, and to young Alan, big shout out to him as well for the Bridgeman and Graveyard Radio.
Thanks very much. Aye, thank you.
Well, thanks very much for your call, Alan. Thank you very much.
Thanks for taking the call.
Cheers,
buddy. Hopefully catch up with you guys soon, right?
Good man.
Cheers, pal. Keep listening in.
Right. That's it. I will do.
Cheers, pal.
Take care then. All the best.
Right.
Bye for now.
No bother. Nice to have somebody on.
There was great positivity there, wasn't it?
Aye, that's what I was just going to say there, Jimmy.
Thanks very much.
Cheers,
Alan. The Sonata, this is a longer Cheerio Sonata.
No bother. Right, I'm off. I'm going to the Young Boys game and all. It'd be good to meet you guys. I'm at the Copeland front anyway, just behind the goal, to the left of the goal, inside the Copeland front. So you'll see me wearing a Doctor Who scarf, red, white and blue, big long one, about 10 feet long. You'll not miss me.
You're lunatic.
All the best, guys.
Hey,
cheers, Alan.
Take care now. Bye. Bye.
Aye,
I thought Alan was going to take us up at the end of the show now.
Well, I'd have been quite happy with that, mate. I'm struggling now.
That was good.
So how's Gordon Dale after that call?
Oh, I've out of them all, I'm between him and Keevans, who I hate the most. Gordon DL, mate, who never has a good word to say about the Rangers, and if he does, he always backs it up with a bigger compliment to Celtic.
Or a big negative after it, but you're right there.
Tell a bit more even in that, Fox. I just hate them all evenly. I'm a bit more fairer.
No, but always, I'll tell you something to listen out to in that show. See when they do the quiz, right, at 7 o'clock, he always says that the guy on the headphones can't hear them, and then he says, is that you got your headphones on? He says, aye. And you say, well, you can hear what he's saying. So they always get an advantage that they hear the answers after the punters first and then make their own decision after that.
I don't think there's any of that at all.
I do.
Okay, then I'll agree with you.
Stop moaning.
You should know it's your show now. It's your show, Mr. DL.
Stop moaning like Gordon DL and just go on with it.
Come on, by the way, Fox, have you got a good thing to say about the Rangers? Under your pseudonym, have you got a good thing to say about the Rangers, please?
Who's that you're talking to?
You, Mr. DL.
Oh, God. It breaks my heart to criticise Rangers, mate. You don't know how badly I take it. I was away into my bed. See, after that game last night, I usually hang about for a wee chat, but it was a sandwiching in my bed for the back of 11 last night. I couldn't believe I'd done that. Anyway, we're
It's
coming
really
to that
difficult, isn't it?
that time of the night. But MD, want the last couple of words about anything?
4-1 on Sunday. 4-1 on Sunday at Eddie's. And the
I
only
was
fear
just-
I've got is if we don't turn up. That's the only fear I've got. If we turn up, we win.
I saw something on Follow there 10 minutes ago, and it was a photo of the Aberdeen fans threw it to James Tavernier, and it hit him in the back. It just short of his head. I think it was some sort of sandwich of some description, and there was bananas thrown allegedly at others. So just to say to you, that was in Follow. I looked it up. So it was all going last night, but I don't think there's going to be any investigation by the authorities anyway about it. Maybe Aberdeen will pick something up. They'll maybe go with something. But they must get the
Answer me this, Bridge. Answer me
I'll try
this,
my
Bridge.
best, pal.
Where's Nil by Mouth? Where are they?
Oh, you'll know they don't work that way, Albert. You know that they don't work that way. It's only when there's something goes against the team across the river. That's the difference. That team, anything happens against them, Nil by Mouth step in 100%. Anyone else, you'll have it.
They would have ate the pie or the banana anyway.
I caught it like a seagull.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys.
Right, okay.
Guys, we've came to that time of the night. Thanks very much to the callers and everybody that took part on the panel. Over to you, Bridge.
Can I just say, marvellous night. Well done, Foxy and all the rest of the boys. Jimmy and Smurf and Forbert, absolutely superb. And Albert, brilliant. I love it. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, marvellous night on Rangers Radio. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us. Keep it going.
Take it away, Old School Blue. We'll be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, where Ox will be back in the chair and probably cheer us all up. Good night, and thanks very much for listening.
On Parkett there is a team who always wear the white and green. But when they meet those boys in blue, they simply